An elderly woman drives to a convenience store on a cold evening in Detroit. Inside, she catches a young boy named Darnell trying to steal candy. She tells the cashier Samir to call the police. The boy panics and begs her not to. Evelyn Mercer looks him directly in the eye and explains that actions have consequences. You can get away with stealing sometimes, she tells him, but sooner or later you're going to get caught. She asks if this is how he wants to lead his life. He promises to do better. She tells him to go straight home. He shouldn't be out at this time of night anyway. After Darnell leaves, Samir compliments how beautifully she handled the situation. She says the kid just needs an older brother. She shops for Thanksgiving turkeys with Samir. They're nice and plump. Two armed men suddenly burst through the door. One shouts for Samir to get behind the register. They force him back and demand money. He pleads with them to take everything. He just came to this country and wants no trouble. One robber tells him this is America, and black people don't get what they want in this country, so why should he? The robber shoots Samir dead in cold blood. Evelyn hides behind a shelf. She screams at the gunshot. The second shooter fires. Evelyn Mercer falls dead. Days later, a crowd gathers for Evelyn's funeral. Two police officers watch from their car parked outside. One cop recognizes a face he hasn't seen in a long time. That's Bobby Mercer, the oldest brother. He's the heavyweight champion fuck-up of the family. A well-defended title. Would have made his daddy proud if he ever had one. The cop used to play hockey with Bobby. He got thrown out of 60-odd games before the league finally had enough of him. They called him the Michigan Mauler. The second cop asks about the kid with Bobby. That's Jack, the youngest. A first-class fuck-up and third-class rock star. He doesn't look like trouble, but he's a Mercer, so don't let him fool you. Another brother arrives. That's Jeremiah, the third son. He was actually a rising star in the Union for a while. Found himself a cause. He has a wife and two daughters. The cops note they're missing one. Angel, the pretty boy. Ex-hustler turned soldier. Guess he's a no-show today. The cops discuss Evelyn's history. She spent 30 years cycling hundreds of kids out of the foster care system and into permanent homes. In all that time, she only came across 4 lost causes. 4 delinquents so far gone she couldn't find anyone to take them in, so she adopted them herself. The brothers gather at Evelyn's house. Bobby meets Jerry's daughters, Amelia and Daniela, for the first time in years. One girl tells Bobby he can't be her uncle because he's white. Her sister reminds her that Grandma Evelyn was white too. Bobby explains they're a different kind of uncle. Evelyn adopted him and Jack just like she did their daddy. The girls warm up to their uncles. Lieutenant Green knows the Mercers well. They all grew up in the same neighborhood. He warns his partner Fowler that Bobby is determined to find his mother's killers. He knows how cops operate and doesn't trust them. The brothers will take justice into their own hands. Back at the house, the brothers reminisce about childhood. They wander to their old rooms, soaked in nostalgia. They rarely gather together anymore. Bobby takes their mother's room. The stern older brother who always acts tough sits on her bed and breaks down crying. Angel decides to visit an old girlfriend, Sophie, who lives nearby. His brothers strongly advise him not to. She has a man now. Angel doesn't listen. Soon both of them are running back to the house half naked, chased by Sophie's angry boyfriend. Angel brings the flighty woman inside. She announces she's staying with them now. Bobby is completely against it and tells Angel exactly what he thinks. The guys fool around and fight while Jack busies himself preparing food for the memorial lunch. The brothers remember how Evelyn taught them manners. She would correct them for smacking their lips or putting elbows on the table. She'd notice when someone got a new tattoo and call it out. More tattoos, Angel. Without finishing lunch, Bobby convinces the others to go play hockey. It's an old family tradition. They play rough on the outdoor rink. The game turns violent, and they beat up some local guys in the process. It's been a long time since they spent time together like this. After hockey, the brothers meet with a lawyer to claim the inheritance. The lawyer hands over various documents containing information about their biological parents. Jerry, Bobby, and Jack learn details about where they came from. Angel discovers there isn't a single document saved for him, not one piece of paper about his origins. The brothers quickly divide the cash inheritance and head to a warehouse Jerry recently bought to start a new business. The building is condemned, but Jerry has big plans to renovate it into lavish offices and storefronts with stained glass windows. Bobby jokes about burning it down for the insurance money. Jerry refuses. Bobby always wants to destroy something. After viewing the warehouse, they hang out at a bar to have something stronger to drink. The older brothers mock Jack, who fancies himself a cool rocker. The bartender comes over, offers condolences about Evelyn, and begins talking about a local gang that's been running wild in the neighborhood. Angel, Bobby, and Jack are determined to go looking for their adoptive mother's killers right now. Jerry, the family man, decides to go home to his wife and daughters. He can't get involved in this kind of violence. The remaining brothers question the bartender about what he knows. Then they decide to arm themselves properly. Bobby distributes weapons from a stash. He gives one brother a pistol, the second a canister of gasoline, and takes a shotgun for himself. The trio barges into a bar where some punks are having fun. They shout, "Police!" to scatter most of the crowd. A few thugs remain sitting with their girlfriends. The brothers make them sit on the couches. Bobby douses the main guy in gasoline, and they start asking questions. This is not the talking part, Bobby explains. This is the listening part. The man claims he witnessed the murder while hanging out at the basketball court. But the murder happened at 11 p.m. and the lights at the court go out at 10. That means he couldn't have been there. They don't believe him and force him to come to the court to prove it. They wait until 10. The lights really do go out automatically. They let him go. The witness had clearly been paid off to give false testimony. The first lead doesn't work out and the brothers return home empty-handed. Bobby suspects Evelyn herself might have been the actual target. The robbery could just be a cover story. In the morning, Jerry changes his mind and rejoins the trio. Together, they go to the store owner and ask to see the security recording of their mother's murder. After watching the disturbing footage, they reach a grim conclusion. There was no point in killing her. The money was already taken, and she hadn't seen their faces. It was pure execution. Police reports mention one person allegedly heard the shots. Officers talked to him the longest. After finding out the witness description and name, a guy called Safra, the brothers head to the basketball court where he often hangs out. Bobby interrupts the game in progress and starts teasing the players aggressively. He hits one of them hard in the nose with a basketball and immediately pulls out his gun. Bobby delivers a speech about his mother who was cold-bloodedly murdered. Upon hearing the description of Safra, one kid tries to run away. Jack gives chase while Angel blocks the back exit. Bobby sees they've caught him and wraps up his speech. The kid was apparently trying to warn someone, his brother Damien. The description matches him perfectly. After searching through the athlete's belongings, they find out where Damien lives. Jerry disappears again. He has to take his daughters to gymnastics class. Can't miss that. The other three brothers wait for Damien in their car outside his apartment building. Soon, he shows up. The brothers jump out and chase him. Seeing the gun in Bobby's hands, Damien gets terrified and runs. They pursue him through the building. Damien escapes to the rooftop. There's a confrontation, and he gets injured. With his leg badly hurt, Damien finally gives in to the pain and reveals two names of people who paid him for false testimony. They can be found at the casino downtown. Arriving at the casino, the Mercers quickly spot the two killers based on the description. The guys notice the suspicious trio and immediately open fire. The brothers chase the pair by car through snowy streets. Due to heavy snow, visibility on the road is poor. Angel shoots the driver with a pistol, and the car crashes into a snowbank. Bobby rams their vehicle, but the chase continues. Eventually, Bobby shoves the criminal's car, causing it to spin and flip completely. Angel and Bobby first beat up the gangsters, then cold-bloodedly execute them just like they had done to their mom. The next morning, Lieutenant Green and Detective Fowler arrive at the crime scene. They visit the Mercers afterward. Fowler shows Bobby a hair found on one of the dead hitmen. Bobby knows this is an old setup. He's not going to be tricked into confessing. Green asks Bobby to share anything he finds, but Bobby remains silent. Gang leader Victor Sweet scolds his men for hiring local shooters when they should have found hitmen from another city. He forces a man named Evan to eat food off the floor. Evan's wife protests. Sweet makes her eat beside her husband. He orders them to find out who killed the shooters. Meanwhile, the brothers want to find out who hired the killers. An insurance agent visits them about Evelyn's life insurance policy. Jerry had been paying premiums on a large amount. His business is on the verge of bankruptcy, and now he stands to receive $400,000. Police find an arsenal of weapons in the shooter's apartment, along with a camera containing photos of Evelyn. In the pictures, she's seen together with the lawyer who executed the will. The brothers confront the lawyer at his house. The man admits he had a relationship with their mother. Bobby apologizes for the rough treatment. Angel tells the brothers Jerry hasn't been entirely honest. He's bankrupt. They also need to visit an official named Douglas. Lieutenant Green questions the lawyer, who reveals that on the day of the murder, Evelyn submitted some kind of report to the police. She spoke with Detective Fowler, but he never mentioned it. Bobby and Angel wait for Councilman Douglas in a parking lot. They question him about the gangster Jerry got involved with. Douglas ignores them and sits in his car. The interior has already been doused in gasoline. Bobby pours more on top and picks up a lit cigarette. Douglas immediately says Victor Sweet's name. Jerry receives his insurance check. Angel follows him. Bobby learns that Sweet once worked for Jerry's uncle until he drowned him in a river and took over the neighborhood. Jerry walks into a bowling alley and hands Evan a bag of cash. The brothers approach with guns drawn and take the money back. The brothers are on edge. They can't wait to confront Jerry. When he comes to their mother's house, Bobby punches him and forces him to answer for Evelyn's murder. Jerry explains she insured her own life. He just paid the premiums. He paid all her bills. He was the only one who took care of her all these years. Sweet sabotaged his business, and now he needs a $20,000 bribe just to get approval at City Hall. While they're arguing, someone knocks on the door. Jack opens it and gets hit in the face with a snowball. He runs after the guy outside. The person suddenly turns around and shoots Jack. Bobby shoots the killer with a shotgun. A whole gang jumps out of a van. Jack takes bullets to the legs and the rest of the brothers rush back inside. 3 gangsters fall dead. Bobby shoots through walls trying to get the others. One attacker comes through the back door and Jerry stabs him with a knife. Angel shoots another from the 2nd floor. They run out of bullets. Bobby beats the last shooter to death with a brick. Bobby himself nearly gets run over by the van, but Jerry crashes into it just in time. Jack bleeds out and dies. Bobby asks the van driver for confirmation that Sweet sent them. The driver confirms it. Bobby shoots him dead. Lieutenant Green arrives asking what happened. Green reveals Sweet killed their mother because she wanted to put the gangster behind bars after finding out he was destroying Jerry's life. Green goes to confront his corrupt partner Fowler at a pool hall. He smacks Fowler with a pool cue, then calmly walks to his car. Fowler chases him outside and shoots Green dead. He immediately radios that 2 black men shot his partner. Green and Jack are buried. The brothers realize they'll get no more help from police. Bobby regrets coming home and doesn't know what to do next. He doesn't want to lose any more brothers. Jerry suggests giving the entire $400,000 to Sweet so he'll leave them alone. Jerry meets with Evan and passes along the offer. They agree to meet in 3 hours. Jerry cashes the check and sends his family far away. His wife asks Bobby to take care of her husband. The brothers prepare their plan. Jerry walks out to Evan with the money. 2 more gangsters wait outside. They search him and drive him to the boss. Sweet arrives at the meeting spot on the frozen lake. A hole has been cut in the ice. Sweet gets out and looks at the pile of money. He asks if Jerry expects him to forgive everything for $400,000. Jerry explains he just buried his mother and brother. He thinks that's payment enough. Actually, Jerry has another offer. He'd rather give the money to the working men surrounding Sweet. Sweet is confident Fowler will cover for him, but Fowler isn't coming. Sweet wonders which of his men will dare take him out. Bobby appears on the horizon. He challenges Sweet to a fist fight. The fight becomes brutal and intense. Bobby beats Sweet unconscious. Sweet's former subordinates pick up his body and throw it into the ice hole. The Mercers face intense interrogation at the police station. All their statements involve joking about sleeping with the interrogators' mothers and wives. The women in their lives provide them with airtight alibis for everything. The questioning cops get nowhere with their crude jokes and insults. The brothers start restoring Evelyn's house. They install new windows and repair the damage. Local boys watch them work sadly. One child asks if Evelyn is coming back. Bobby gently tells him no, she's dead. The brothers call everyone inside for dinner. Bobby has a vision of Evelyn telling him it's good to have him home. She asks if he'll stick around this time. He tells her he's thinking about it. The brothers continue their mother's work, rebuilding the house while neighborhood kids play outside.